Hello, my friends, and welcome back into the channel. Happy Saturday, my loves. Happy Saturday to each and every one of you. I'm so glad to be here today. I'm glad you decided to pop in and watch the video. We're going to get into a really cool, easy bracelet project today using some leather. We're going to do a wrap bracelet using some of this really cool riveted suede and some wax knotting cord today and just a few beads. It's going to be very summery, very summery. It's just going to be very almost whimsy. It's going to be one of those very casual bracelets we can wear with anything. So that's what's on the agenda today. But friends, first and foremost, I want to take pause and do a gratitude shout out here today. My friends, I thank you guys so much for supporting the channel, supporting the small business. I am so eternally grateful. I cannot do what I'm doing without you guys, and we're just growing and growing and growing. It's such a beautiful thing. I would have never dreamed, truly. And guys, I'm working so hard to do good things, right? And stay in my safe space, my place of joy, which is right here, and do something that I can be completely proud of. You guys are part of that, and I love you guys so much and appreciate you. So many of you have been popping into the store. Since yesterday, I launched my first round of spring goodies. I'm still listing things, but we have bead mixes and stash bags, and of course, what did I do? Dragonfly Daydreams, my March first day of spring sun catcher launch was yesterday, and you guys have been popping in, getting your sun catchers plus extra prisms and supplies and bead mixes and all the things. And I just want to give Debbie, if you're watching, honey, I just want to give you a shout out. You are just amazing. Beautiful soul. I love you to the moon. You are so kind and so supportive. I appreciate you, Debbie, so much. And each and every one of you, I would not be able to do what I'm doing without every single one of you. So I appreciate you guys. I love you to the moon and back. So what do you say we get into some beady goodness? And by the way, just so you know, we're going to be doing a cool knotting project using the tying station in the next few days. Yes, we are. I have a cool knotting project for you guys. So we're going to be doing that. I was thinking about doing some stretch bracelets. I saw, by the way, thank you guys for posting in the community tab. Carolyn, I want to give you a shout out. Oh my gosh, I love what you've been posting. Your designing is so wonderful, my friend. Oh my gosh, thank you so much. You inspire me too. Thank you for utilizing that community tab and showing and sharing all of your designs to inspire us all. And Carolyn had made some stretch bracelets, so I also was thinking of doing some stretch bracelets. So I think I'm going to do some stretch bracelets out of this beautiful color palette. And I have a few more things up my sleeve. So we're going to be doing some fringe. We can't do some Southwest without a little fringe. So I'm just saying. So we have quite a bit left to do in this bag. But anyway, why don't we say that we get started with a really beginner friendly, since I've been talking for God knows how long. Let's talk about what we're going to use. Let's get everything off the clam, and we shall remove said clam so I can have some space to work in. And let me put that away. And let me see what, I want to also show. Okay, so I'm working with Canyon Waterfalls, my March sparkle bag. But if you have similar supplies, hopefully this just inspires you. Make a really fun wrap bracelet. We're going to do a fun wrap bracelet. I don't know how many wraps I'm going to do yet. So I'm just working with the original yard that I got, that I put in the bag. So everybody got a yard in my Canyon Waterfalls sparkle bag of both the wheat and the saddle brown. You also got a yard of your 0.5 millimeter wax cord in the sunshine and the spicy tangerine. So I'm using the sunshine and the wheat today. But, if you've got any cool flat suede and any cool knotting cord that'll fit through your beads, bring it on out. The other thing you're going to need is some cool beads like this. I might still have some of these in my store. You guys can check. I know some of the colors have been selling out. The cool blue, like there's a really beautiful blue. That one has not sold out yet. I don't have those. I'm not sure which other ones I have, but I've got the dark sea green, the white smoke, the light salmon, and the fire brick. I just pulled one of each. I'm not sure how many or which colors I'm going to use, but these are really cool. These are acrylic curve tube beads. And they, guys, look, I try to do it right when I get my hands on acrylics, right? And this is doing it right. I'm just saying, these are the coolest acrylic beads, I'm telling you. The drill hole is here on the top, right? At the top of the curve. But don't they look like gemstones? They're so cool, right? I love these. So, cool. I'm also going to use, so I've got a yard. Oh boy, I'm getting things all tangled, guys. So I didn't cut it yet, right? So I'm just working with the yard of my 0.5 millimeter knotting cord. It is wax, but you can use any cording. You can even use some like 0.5 millimeter leather. That would be great too. Okay, so that's what that is. And then the suede, the riveted suede in wheat. Okay, that's what I'm working with. And that is also, I just have a yard of it because I'm not sure how many wraps I'm going to do yet. So I have a yard of my suede. And then I have my, this is an antique copper color wire. It's a 20 gauge. You can use any color wire, but I would stick with a 20 gauge. I will show you how to do just exactly this. Okay, it's a really cool way. If you don't have any cord ends to work with your leather, your flat leather rather. So use any brand, any color. I prefer dead soft, and this is a 20 gauge. Okay, so I've got you on the mat. This is what we have. Okay, I'm going to show you how to do this when we finish it off. Okay, this is very, very easy, friends. It just takes a little bit of patience. Very beginner friendly. This is going to be such a cool bracelet for the summer because it's going to be a wrap. It's going to be super lightweight, just a few beads. We cannot go wrong. We're not going to go wrong on this one. So let's get started. Okay, so to get started, my friends, so I have my 4 beads, and again, I do not know how many beads I'm going to use, or which colors. We'll see in a second. This is going to be one of these really cool projects where you're almost designing it as you go for your wrap, because we're going to keep trying it on instead of grabbing the ruler and doing all kind of math today. We're just going to have fun by using our wrist to see where we want to make our knots for our beads to land. That's what we're doing. So I'm going to just grab actually some wire, right? I just need a small working piece. Once we get to the end, I just like to get things cut and kind of out of the way here. So it's probably way too much, but it's probably a 4-inch piece or so. But I'm just gonna cut that. Oh, and I forgot findings, friends. For my findings, I am gonna grab some jump rings. I have my copper here. I've got all my sizes. I'm thinking we're gonna use a pretty decent size lobster. I've got my lobster somewhere. I thought I had my lobster class. Anyway, a jump ring is what I meant to say. Well, guys, where did it go? I just had the darn thing. Where did my lobster go? Oh, right here. My God. So I've got my lobster, and then we will grab a jump ring, probably a couple different sizes. Okay. I just went ahead and started. Okay. So in order to start, let me get you pulled down, and let's grab our knotting cord, and let's fold it in half. And again, I have a yard of each. Oh, let me unknot that. And you probably don't need quite this much, but we'll see. We'll see. So let's just start with the yard. Okay, so I folded my knotting cord in half. And let me show you what we're going to do to get this started with the wire. And I'll show you precisely at the end how to do this. But you're just going to grab your wire, friends, and we're going to anchor it and wrap it around. And we'll use some pliers to help us along and fold that in half, okay? And you can see what I did there. I kind of tried to stay in between 2 of my rivets. Now, why did I choose copper? Because I wanted to. You can use any color. I love mixed metal, and it is a trending stitch, and if it wasn't, I'd still do it. I love the way the copper looks on this wheat with that silver rivet there. I mean, I think it's cool. So that's what that is. So what I'm going to do, we folded our cord in half, right? So to get it started, once you fold that over, okay, and that's about a half of an inch, okay? You just need to make big enough of a loop, guys, to get a nice sizable jump ring through there, right? That's all that is, okay? So you don't need that big of a loop, okay? I'm now going to take my folded cord and I'm going to get it through that loop. Okay, we'll just do a lark's head to anchor the cording. So I'm going to grab the tails, grab this by the loop, and put the tails through. And then we'll go ahead and let's pull. And we'll just make a lark's head. Now, if we want, we can do two. It doesn't matter. I'm going to try to put it in the back there, but it doesn't even matter if it shows anyway. Right? So it's totally fine. So that's what I have. Okay. And then, guys, this is where this is so fun. This is just a fun, this is going to be a fun project. Okay. So I am going to now grab my entire bracelet here, right? And I am going to put it around my wrist to where the start of it is kind of somewhat in the middle of my wrist, right? And kind of, I have my wrist on the mat, right? I'm going to hold this. And I'm going to see where do I want my first tube bead to land. And that's what I'm going to do here. So, for example, if I want my tube bead to land, you know, right here, you know, like where? I'm going to grab that part of my cording, and that's where we're going to tie some knots, and then feed it on there. So I'm thinking about right there. So I'm going to grab my cording right here, and we're going to just do a couple of overhand knots. Okay, so we'll just take both cords and keep them together, and we'll do a couple overhand knots. I'm just not moving my finger from where I just put that on my wrist, right? So it doesn't have to be exact. Somewhere abouts, right? So we can do one knot or two. I'll do two knots. Let me see if I need two knots. Just to be safe, I'm going to do two knots for the size of the hole of that bead. So let's do that. Okay, and we'll hold that knot, pull the tails, and now we're going to put these cords together, which are now completely not centered, which is fine. And let's get this cording through that bead. Okay, and we'll pull those down. And yeah, I think it's better to do two knots. This is 0.5 millimeter cord. Okay, and then we're just gonna put a knot right at the end there. Very beginner friendly. This is just very whimsy for summer, guys. Very beginner friendly, very easy project. It doesn't really require a whole lot of deep dive skills, which is why I like it. You know, one knot would probably be fine, but because it's wax, I'm gonna do two for good measure. So let me just get that knot down there and guide that right where the other knot is. And there we go. We'll go ahead and pull those. And now I'm going to see what I have. So I'm just going to grab this and put that down like that. And that's where that landed. Let's see. Yeah. So that's where that bead landed. All right. Let me pull you guys out just a smidge. Okay. So how cool is this, right? And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to wrap around with, and I'm going to try to not, have that moving, right? So I'm going to try to kind of go like this, and like I'm going to hold my cord without pulling anymore and try to, just eyeball this the best that I can. I'm going to get it wrapped around again so I can see where I want my second bead to be. And it looks like, guys, a yard is just going to go around twice of the knotting cord, right? Because we doubled it, we folded it in half, right, to do the lark's knot. Now, you do not have to do that, but I just thought it would look kind of cool with the flat suede, frankly. So that's why I doubled it. Plus, it's 0.5 millimeter, it's a little thinner. So we'll just do 2 wraps. That's how that's going to work out. So that's fine. Let me get this anchored in some way, because, there's no special tools. This is just being creative, my friends. Okay, so I'm going to kind of pull like that and see if I can not have that move again. Okay, I think so. I think I got it this time. Okay, and if I put you back where you were, yeah, I think so. I think that's about right. Yeah, I'll have enough to tie a knot there, I believe. We'll have just enough. We'll have just enough to tie a knot. So then maybe this next one, like maybe we put the bead over here to land there. So if I want it to end like around here, right? So it's gonna kind of buckle up against that green bead. I'm gonna keep my finger there. So I want it to end there. I need to see where do I need to tie the knot in front of it. So I need to grab my bead to measure that. I'm not moving my fingers. And also I need to decide what bead I'm using. I think I might want to use the white smoke. I don't know. I love them all. I think so. I think I'm going to use the white smoke. So this is where I wanted it to roughly land. So I'm going to go like that and go, oh, okay. So maybe about right here I need to have my knots. Looks about right. Okay, so I'm going to tie my knots right here. So we'll do 2 overhand knots again. Right here. And it's, again, it's a rough estimate. Okay, so we'll do that again. And let's make sure that gets right on top of that other knot. And then we'll put these guys away. And let's go ahead and get these cords on here. There's 1. And 2. There you go. All right, and now we'll just do 2 overhand knots again. Yeah, I am I am gonna have barely enough, and it's because, guys, look, I was completely off center. So I didn't even pay attention when I did that lark's head and Mary at my ends, but that's okay. I think we're gonna be all right. I think we can make it to the jump ring, which is where we need to tie this off. Or we can tie this to the folded leather. We could do that too. Let's just wait and see. Let's get this part done first, and then we'll see what we're gonna do. I don't know, guys. It looks so pretty. I almost want to go around a 3rd time. I guess we'll just go twice. Okay, so we kind of just want to take this end, right? And we'll go ahead and cut our leather now. We can actually fold it and see, my friends, where we need to cut it. So Let's do that, because we'll have our jump ring and our lobster as well. So yeah, I mean, I think that's good right there. I'm gonna say it's good right there. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and cut the rest of my leather off. Right, so I can always trim. I'm gonna go ahead and cut it right there. Okay, we'll get that out of the way. Okay, and I'm gonna put a crease in it so I can see what I'm doing here. Okay, and now we're gonna grab our wire, my friends. Okay, we'll worry about the cord in a minute. We'll do one thing at a time. I'm gonna go ahead and we're just folding it, so let me show you precisely what I'm doing. Right, so with everything else out of the way. So all you do, my friends, is just fold that much, right? It's just like a half, 3/4 of an inch. You don't even need that much. You could, but we could also trim, right? I like to have a little bit of a working piece, right? So we'll just hold our leather, fold it in half, grab the wire, and what I like to do is go ahead and anchor it by leaving a little bit longer of a tail. So I'm gonna just wrap it around here, right? So I like the 20 gauge too. And then I'm gonna come around just the one time, not even quite coming to the top, it's just kind of going and folding it around just like this, right? And I'm actually now gonna get our tools involved. So flat nose work well. I like these ones right here. I'm just gonna flatten this wire, right? And now I'm gonna use this longer working tail and go ahead and wrap it around. Just kind of have to be patient with it and see why, you know, you want a working piece so you can kind of hold your work is what I'm getting at there. You can do messy or clean wraps. It's completely up to you. But I do like a little bit more of a clean look. But it, you know, this is kind of boho and whimsy. It's kind of a very casual bracelet. That's my intention here. So I'm gonna pull my wires together as I'm wrapping here, right? And then come back around to the top. And if I need to squeeze, I'll squeeze. But when you squeeze, it'll expand your wires, right? So you can just kind of pinch them like this. Just kind of keep wrapping that around. And now that it's most certainly good and anchored, I'm definitely gonna go ahead and get rid of that first tail. So let's go around to the back here and get that trimmed off. And then we need to definitely tuck that in. Kind of try to tuck it towards the side there. Okay. And looks pretty good to me. So I'll go ahead and trim the second piece there. I'll just trim it and tuck it into the leather. And so we'll go like that. And see what happens. See how my wires kind of expanded, right? Because I squeezed it too hard. Now, if you want to leave it like that, it's a cool look. You can do that. Just want to make sure nothing is going to scratch my skin. So just take your time tucking in your wire. And then if you want to trim this a little more, you can, right? And let me go back to this side and let's trim that piece a little as well. Just a little more. All right, there we go. We are done with those tools. Now we need to get this knotted, right? And I think what we need to do is we need to get some hardware on, probably. So let's grab a lobster and some jump rings here. So I don't know what size jump ring. I'm thinking probably an 8. Those look like some 10s. Maybe a 10? No, it's too big. I'm thinking maybe some 8s. That works. And there we go. So good, right? So good. Looks so cute. And so easy, right, guys? It's not, it doesn't even take long, actually. It did not take long at all, right? Okay, and let's go here. We're going to go above that knotting cord there. All right, let's get that closed down there. Perfect. Yep. Let's get you guys put back with your friends. All right, and now we will see what we need to do to knot this cording up. So let's see. Okay, I'm going to use my body, guys, as some leverage to get this on. Okay, so the bracelet is on. Oh my gosh, it's so pretty. Okay, so I'm going to wrap this around. Oh, it's so soft. I love it. And then there's the second one. Okay, and so we have a couple of options here, guys. We could, we could also do, we could knot to the leather. We could knot to the leather. We sure could. Now, the reason, if you're wondering, I want to just address this, because you might think by looking at this saying, oh, why don't you just lay the cords underneath this wire wrap? Well, no, because we would have to glue it, and I don't want to deal with glue. And this is wax, right? So we'll just slip off it. Even if we were not using any coated waxed cord, I would not trust that to not come off, right? I would end up gluing it anyway. So that's why I did not do that, just in case you wondered. So I'm wondering how that would be if we just went ahead. I mean, we really could. We could either knot it literally in this loop or to the jump ring. It's just either or. Either or. Oh, let me hold where I need the knot before I undo you. Okay, this is going to be interesting. Okay, so it needs to be comfortable, but I don't want it to be too flip-floppy. Okay, let's see. So we're going to go to the jump ring, which means I think about right there. Yeah, right there. Yeah, right there. So I'm going to hold my finger there, and let me hold it there so I can get it off. Alrighty, and let's go ahead, and I'm just going to, again, I'm keeping that place, and let's get it twisted, and let's get that through the jump ring, and let's get that knotted right there. God, I have so little to work with. Oh my word. Oh my word. I'm gonna see if let me grab my tweezers, guys. Where are you? Alright, got it. And we'll just knot that a couple of times, and I'll grab the thread burner, and then we'll just burn those ends off. Oh boy. That is such a tiny space. Oh my heavens. Okay, let me get the long one through there first, since we don't have a problem with you. You're not the problem. This guy. All right, we pull that nice and tight. And let's grab the thread burner. And I'll go ahead and get that through there. All right, there's one. And two. Alrighty, there we go, my friends. Let's see what we made. Let's see what we made. We made a cool bracelet is what we made. Look how cool this bracelet is. Yay. I love it. Love it. I'm just gonna use my body. Let me use my body, guys. I'll be right back. Under the camera, just a minute. Okay. And let me just get that. Hold of that. Everything is so slippery, guys, because it's like, 750 degrees outside. Oh my God, it's so hot here. It's unbelievable. It literally feels like August. There we go. There we go. Yay, I did it. Yay. How cool is this? I love this. How cool and whimsy is this? Right? And if you wanted to do more beads, you certainly could. And we wanted to do more reps, we could, but we just now know we need to do more cording, right? Instead of a yard, we need to do probably 2 or 3 yards. But that's only because we did a lark set, right? And because we doubled it up. Now, if we used maybe like a 0.5 millimeter leather or something like that, we could get away with not doubling it, right? So I think that looks so cool. I don't even want to take it off. I think that is so cool. I love this. I love this. So, so cool. Let's see if we can do the wrappy poo. Oh my goodness, my friends. I hope you enjoyed a fun, easy, but beautiful summer fun leather wrap bracelet. Riveted leather, I might add. And we will see you guys in the next one for some more beauty inspiration. A happy Saturday, my friends. Have a fantastic rest of your weekend. Keep sparkling and be blessed.